The full moon was yesterday, which means that for the last 5 days, I've had several of my clients doing a parasite cleanse, and they'll continue for another 2. But there are some who I asked not to do it yet, and there's a reason behind that. A lot of people don't know why you wouldn't want to do a parasite cleanse, and they just think, oh, I don't want parasites, I want to completely clean up my health, and they don't understand why you wouldn't do a parasite cleanse. So let's go over a couple of things you should know about the ecology and the physiology of parasite cleanses. Anytime you have a area in the world where there is radiation exposure that is high, or you have heavy metal issues in the soil, or you're also having waste that is chemical. Some of the first things to show back up in the soil when the soil starts to be rich enough to support life again are fungi and parasites. So let's say that you are somebody who's had water being brought into your house by lead pipes and other metals that are coming into the water, and your water has been tested and the water is not clean. You probably don't want to do a parasite cleanse until you've fixed the water problem, done a heavy metal detox, and then done some reestablishing of good things in your body, vitamins, minerals, nutrients, gut bacteria, etc., before you do a parasite cleanse. You want to get out the bad stuff, bring in and support the system for 3 to 6 months, and then go ahead and attack it again for the things that you want to get rid of. Let's say that you have an autoimmune disorder, or you've had some kind of oncological medicinal products brought into your system. Parasites might actually be protecting you from the parts that didn't get absorbed by your tissues. And when you go to do a parasite cleanse and you knock all those guys out, they then release those toxins back into your system and you get a second exposure. So again, we want to go in and clean up those toxins first. We want to go in and make sure that your system has had a chance to rebuild, and then we would do a parasite cleanse. And let's say that you're someone who lives in a really super moldy environment and you believe you're having mold symptoms, but you're having some other odd symptoms with that. Most people will say every time, if it's not just mold, it's also parasites, do a parasite cleanse. I'm going to tell you, let's clean up the mold in your environment first. Let's clean up your body, and then let's support it for a few months with good nutrients, and then do a parasite cleanse. I'm going to say the same thing if you're someone who is a recovering alcoholic or use drugs for a long period of time, because if you don't clean out that liver, it can't get rid of the parasites effectively and the byproducts that those parasites release. And it's interesting because I've done several of these parasite cleanses with people, and I've had people come back to me and say, I feel like I am detoxing drugs that I haven't taken for somewhere between 10 and 20 years. And another not so great experience I had was losing a colleague who was doing a parasite cleanse because she thought that's what she needed to do. Only she hadn't told anyone that as a child she had had cancer. And then also in her 20s, she had had cancer and had gone through chemo and radiation. And she, doing a parasite cleanse, released all those toxins back into her body and succumbed to those toxins. There are a lot of things you can do holistically, but sometimes we have to get past the point where we are throwing spaghetti at the wall, trying everything that comes in front of us so that we don't do more damage. If you're interested in doing a parasite cleanse, any of the ones that come across your feed, even if it's something as simple as you're going to grind up papaya seeds and eat those every day for a week, make sure that you have an optimally functioning liver first. Make sure you are using a very strong binder second. And make sure that if you start experiencing symptoms that feel like they shouldn't be happening, you actually reach out to somebody who knows what they're doing. If you're thinking about doing a parasite cleanse at the beginning of the year, you would want to start it on January 10th and go through the 17th, which means that you have this month to help build up your system with healthy vitamins, minerals, and electrolytes even that you are going to need. You may even want to do a really good dose of a good probiotic. And for some of you, that's going to be as simple as a children's probiotic. The one that I used with my kids was the Jarrow Baby, and I've even recommended that to some clients who've experienced diverticulitis and then had to come out of that and restore the gut. We work slow, like baby increments, and move up. If you want guidance for a liver cleanse or a parasite detox, and you want to know that there's someone you can go to and ask questions, you can always click on my profile and look at the links and book the appropriate appointment.